and that is the Buds versus Diversity in our second game of tonight's matchups. 24 Diversity have Jason Volke, Jason Cho, as I said, Hun Seok, Jason Cho, Alfonso Santos, Joel Monroe, Kareem Boyd, Dorian Villagran, Gerson, Tito Perez, Mike Nelson, and they do have, I do not see Luke White available tonight, so we pray for his family as he is away from the team right now, dealing with family issues. So many prayers for him. Buds consists of Kevin Wilson, Keith Watkins, Mark Bowman, also known as Bomer, Dave Carmen, Mike Duffy, Blake Philippi, Jake Furley, and Joel Aponte. Diversity is coached by Latrell Alford, and the Buds are coached by Andrew Godwin. We're supposed to have Andrew Godwin up here for a pregame interview. Kevin Wilson, and this is his first game back since his shoulder injury. We hope to see things transpire as Justin Juice Kinsey will be reffing along with Bob Spade. This is the first and only meeting between the two squads. Both teams being 7-1, Diversity winning yesterday 52-31 against the Black Mambas. We're hoping to have Andrew Godwin come up for an interview, but I don't know if he's actually going to be able to make it up here. So, I unfortunately do not. I don't think I have my broadcast partner tonight. He was spending time with his girlfriend, so many blessings to him as he does that. As we are just about, we're going to be getting underway here shortly with this this game, and we're going to have Coach Godwin joining us in a second here as he rushes up to join us. Drew, nice to have you here, buddy. Let me try to get you.
It's good to be here, Mikey. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. You guys are 7-1 entering tonight's game.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
And you guys are facing a tough Diversity team. What's your guys' game plan in taking care of them?
Well, today what we've got to do is we just got to, I think we're down players or whatever, so we're going to have to probably stay in a zone today. So we'll probably go 3-2 mostly of the game, maybe some man, but we're just going to have to fight and box out and get rebounds and transition points. So it's basically what it's going to come down to.
Okay. Yeah, of course. You go do what you got to do, man. We had to get him quick before this game ended. So apparently they are down players. Like I said, Kevin Wilson just coming back from a shoulder injury. So it's his first game back. It looks like Duffy is unavailable tonight, and he wasn't really a big factor. Everyone else seems to be here for their squad, according to my roster. But, of course, 24 Diversity looks like they got their full crew. So we will take it down to the court for action. So we'll see what we get to see here tonight. As Mikey Nelson actually will be wearing Luke White's number 3. Mike Nelson, the captain of the diversity squad. As our starting lineups are as follows: Mike Nelson, number 3, Tito Perez, number 34, Jason Berkey, number 41, Jerome Monroe, number 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4. I only see 4 of 5. And Zay Carson actually will be joining Juice Kinsey in the reffing. And, oh, there we go, Kareem Boyd, number 24. I was wondering, okay, where's their 5th? And for Beisel, it is Keith Watkins, Kevin Wilson, Dave Carmen, Jake Furley, and Blake Philippi. As there's a quick word of prayer. Just want to remind you that today's game brought to you by Mott Plastic Canvas. Mott Plastic Canvas, your home for all your plastic canvas gifts and needs. Log on to mottplasticcanvas.webs.com. That is MOTT plasticcanvas.webs.com. That's MOTTPLASTICCANVAS.webs.com. As a quick bucket for Beisel, as it is 2-0 in favor of Beisel up. The number 1 seed out of the west facing the number 2 seed out of the east. Jerome Monroe misses a 3, rebounded by Furley. I'm wondering why diversity is on the home side when the number 1 seed is the Buds, but I'm not going to argue with everything. We had a frozen clock. It'll be diversity ball after this break in action. It's a 2-0 Buds lead. Like you heard from Coach Godwin, he's shy a player or two, so he's looking to have everything work in his favor. As he said, they're going to play a 3-2 zone. Carmen and Furley down low. Philippi, Watkins, and Wilson up high. As the clock is winding, first minute already gone here in the first half. Boyd swinging into Monroe. Over to Nelson. Down to Boyd. Boyd brings it to the wing. Takes it down to Varkey on the baseline. Varkey can hit the 3. It goes through Boyd's legs as Watkins misses getting the bucket, but kick brings it back out. Watkins loses it to Boyd. Watkins needs to have control in order for it to happen as Nelson gets a nice good move in. As it is 2-2. Watkins kicks it out to Carmen. Carmen over to Phil. Pressured by Monroe to Philippi. Monroe. Watkins drives in and gets the bucket for 2. Monroe swings it to Boyd. Boyd's at the top. Boyd loses it. Monroe pressured by Watkins. This could be heated as Monroe gets it to the glass into the dish. As as Kevin Wilson swings it to Watkins, back to Wilson. Wilson for three. Doesn't get it to go. Rebound by Tito Perez. Monroe swings it over to Nelson, down to Varkey. Varkey, like I said, can shoot the three, and he's good from downtown. Diversity leads 7-4. In the early onset, Watkins bringing it up. And that is a hug around by Monroe. Bud's ball on the floor. Into Philippi, over to Watkins. Into Furley. Furley double teamed. They will be Diversity will be pesky on their defense. Watkins gets it to go. Apparently nothing, no foul call on that. It is going to be a very aggressive game at this point. I can tell you that right now. It already is. And it's not even we're just getting 4 minutes in. 7-6, it's a 1-point game. Swung over to Wilson. Wilson gets it to go. It's 8-7. Now, Perez doesn't get it to go. Rebound by Wilson. Watkins brings it up quickly. Rebound by Furley. Rebound by Nelson. As Jason Hunsiok Cho. Jason for Cho for sure. Dorian Villagrán and Alfonso Santos is in. Nelson for three. He seems to do like a little pirouette at the end. Keith Watkins brings it up, swung over to Philippi for three. No good. He's usually good from beyond, but doesn't get it, as a little scramble for the rebound as Villagrán brings it down. Monroe, no good. And goes out. Last touch by Diversity. Game went final. It is the Canadians losing to Boston in overtime of score 4-3. 16:09 left to go in Consol Energy Center. The Pens are down 1-0. Sixers end up losing to Miami. Nuggets up on the Thunder, and Spurs up on the Grizzlies. We also got some baseball scores to tell you about. Baltimore beat Boston 5-4. Yankees beat the White Sox 3-1. Cleveland over the Royals 7-2. A's over the Angels 2-1 in extra. Seattle clobbering Detroit 10-1. And the Pirates beat the Giants 2-0. Current games going on right now. Nationals up on the Mets 3-2. Cardinals up on the Astros 6-0, and Rangers up on the Blue Jays 6-5. We got an 8-7 game right now in favor of the Buds. Make it 9-7. Nelson for three, no good. Santos gets it. Mark Bowman is in. Dorian Villagrán misses. Rebound by Santos. Furley not putting the pressure. Cho over to Villagrán. Villagrán doesn't get it, and rebound by Philippi. Timeout is called. I don't know why the clock is running. If a timeout is called, I don't know why the clock is running. Clock might have to be reset, I don't know, unless they were behind on the clock. As we got a decent crowd here for the second game of tonight's action between the Buds and Diversity. Kevin Wilson puts it up and it's good. 11-7, or in the way it reads, 7-11. Welcome to 7-Eleven. Would you like a Slurpee? But I digress. It's 12:35 left to go in the game. Diversity down, but Alfonso Santos makes it within 2, 9-11. Jason Cho with the steal and lasers it to Mike Nelson, who doesn't get it to go. It stays apparently. Foul by Beisel. Villagrán going to the line. I have a quick public service quick PSA for you, everyone out there listening from the VFCC contingent. Wednesday, May 4th, during finals week, inside the Crumples Theater, it is dollar comedy night. Bring a dollar, however you want, in leftover laundry quarters or what have you. Bring it in. A dollar gets you in the door, and you can enjoy some comedy with the curtain call players. Mark Bowman gets fouled in the act of shooting. He'll go to the line. First shot good by Bomer. The winner of this game will face the victorious staff team. Staff making a run for it. Mike Nelson for three, and he makes his first three of the night. I think he's 1 of 3 from beyond tonight so far. I probably didn't have the camera on that. That's my apologies. 14-12 the score right now. It's a 2-point game. Philippi over to Watkins. Watkins drives. Kicks it out to Wilson for three. No good. Rebound by Watkins. He drives and puts it back up for two. Kareem Boyd gets a screen from Santos, but it's kicked around to Jason Cho, who misses the three. He's usually good from beyond. Three balls have not been going down this week, as I think somewhat people might blame their shot. I'd say it might be the humidity. Come help. I need extra voice. No, not you. Because I need... It's a 16-12 game with 8:30 left to go. Watkins puts it up, and it's good from downtown, 19-12. Yeah, I need some color commentating because I'm joined here by James Gaddy. James, how are you, sir?
Oh, I'm doing phenomenal this evening. You already know, Mikey. Just watching the game, man. It's a tough matchup, man. It's a tough matchup.
Yeah, you guys face both Buds and Diversity, so who you think is the better one? The score says Buds, but out of your playing experience, who do you think?
I would have to say 24, but that's just because when we played the Buds, they were without their two-star players, which they are truly showing their colors this evening.
That is so true. Kevin Wilson, this is his first game back from his shoulder injury, and he looks like he's doing pretty good, as well as Keith Watkins. As long as Keith can keep the handle on the ball, he's good. So, but a key player that Diversity is missing is Luke White because of his family situation. Our prayers go out to him. So right now, with what we're seeing, it's a 19-12. They're in a timeout right now. I mean, what do you think Diversity needs to adjust here?
I say they got to keep feeding the hot hand. They keep passing the ball around too much. They're not following their shots. You got to follow your shot. Missed a couple key free throws, and I would say one nice open shot. The score would be locked up 19-19, as you can see now, Mikey. I would say it's still early. There's still 7.5 minutes to go about in the first half. It's been a lot of timeouts, been a lot of fouls and things of that nature. So they can just slow the pace down a little bit. They can't get on the Buds' levels. They have to let their team, their tempo rule the game. They cannot let the Buds take over. Then they have to call another timeout, and then you get another steal like you just saw here. And these guys are killing them right here, these two right here. And they got to put a stop on them. They have to put a stop on them. But I think 24 can do it. It's a good game. It's a good game.
Yeah, Keith and Kevin, former players on the Patriot squad. Kevin used to wear number 1. Keith used to wear number 2. The person who used to wear number 3, Brad Kijawa, played on the Showtime. And also Justin Mitchell, who played for the Patriots on the SAF team, also wore number 3. So, I mean, a couple good players in these teams that we have in this Final Four. As Wilson hits both, as it is a 9-point game right now. I believe that is their largest lead this so far.
Yeah, it is, Mikey. That is their largest lead of the game, and it just seems like it's getting out of hand unless they start doing something like that, taking it to the hole. Whoever's hot, feed the hot hand. And as you can see on the bench, they got a couple star players. They got to put them back in. They need to get some rest time and get back on the floor.
They certainly do. They certainly do. 6:20 left to go in this first half. Watkins at the top, right near the timeline, along with Wilson. This must be some sort of strategy Coach Godwin came up with. Looks like Diversity is running a 2-3. Buds have been running a 3-2, so that's been a good counter for them. As Carmen fakes a 3, swung around to Philippi. Over to Watkins. Watkins back at the top, killing time. As he drives and he gets it to go. Watkins has been on fire when he drives. And that is Diversity's Achilles heel.
That's exactly right there. And you see Mikey driving to the hole. He took a hard foul. Hopefully he can drop these foul shots, because these foul shots are really crucial when it comes down to the end of the wire.
Exactly right, as we've seen last night and in the first game tonight between Staff and Showtime. Mogwin was at the line 43-40 with, I think, 14 seconds left, and Gwyn only hit 2 of 3, and the final score ended up being 46-42. So it was a very close contested matchup. Showtime pretty much had that tempo, but really it ended up being in Staff's favor because of their experience.
I would have to agree with you there. Their experience, and it comes down once again to the foul shots. I don't want to sound redundant, but the game beforehand was just spectacular, and I would really have liked to see Showtime pull an upset. Will getting fouled on a three-point shot. He could have had a three-point and then another foul shot at a four-point play. Then he only made 2 out of the 3, and then they were down by 2 with a couple seconds left and lost the ball. So it's just really a bad way to lose. But nonetheless, it was a good matchup, good contested team.
Yeah, congrats to Showtime. They end with a 6-4 record on the season, and I mean they played their hearts out like they do every game, which is what I like to see, especially Phil Bishop. He's an outstanding player, and I mentioned that in last night's game with Aaron Stewart, that Phil Bishop has so much heart that he'll play any sport no matter what. And he's got a prosthetic leg, but he still can put the heart and the drive into it.
Amen, amen. I think we could all learn a thing or two from that young man. And you see him on the court. I played a little pickup ball with him, and he goes hard. Whatever it is, he goes hard. Don't let anything hold him back. So a lot of props to him.
Exactly. We have Tito Perez at the line, 25-16 to score. That kind of almost resembles what Diversity led you guys on last night, 25-16 at the half. Now it's 25-17 in favor of the Buds with 3 minutes left. A deep 3 try, no good. Rebounded by Mikey Nelson. Nelson misses the 3, rebounded by Perez. I guess all ball by Philippi as Wilson brings it up.
Yeah, there's been some tough calls here tonight. I think some fouls haven't been called. The refs are just letting them play, and the other couple fouls have been called. And just like that, that's kind of like the redemptive foul call. Tito drove on one side of the court. He didn't get the foul when he went up, and then he came down and took the charge. Good call, ref. Good call.
Isaiah Carson making that call. The charge taken by Tito, as mentioned, committed by Kevin Wilson. Kevin and Keith still in, as Joel Laponte is in for the Buds. Kareem Boyd, Jerome Monroe, Tito, Jason Varkey, and Mikey Nelson on the court for Diversity. Dish into Philippi, no good. Watkins puts it up, no good. Watkins gets the ball, almost lost. Philippi keeps it in. Philippi takes it into the dish.
Yeah, I think Diversity might want to look at another defense. They're not going to be able to stop them on the 2-3. They do have some fast people on the man side of it, but they've got to switch it up a little bit because they're not stopping them defensively. However, they are starting to put the ball in the hoop offensively, so that is a plus.
Yeah, right now we got an 8-point game with $1:25 left to go in the half. Wilson trying to get a move. Doesn't get him, but Philippi gets his miss and puts it up for 2. Philippi good underneath, but he has shown flares from beyond, but he hasn't really shown many in the last couple weeks. Some people blame missed threes on just poor execution. Some people blame it on how humid this gym is. As Tito Perez takes it into the dish for two.
Yeah, that was a good take on Tito. He didn't hesitate. He knew he was going right back up and took it to the house. I like that from Tito right there. He's got to continue to go strong and keep pulling down those rebounds because they really need his power in the post.
Yeah, he is stellar in the post. He put up big numbers against the Damiani Globetrotters earlier in the season. I don't even remember the numbers, but I'm sure if I asked him, he'd tell me clearly what those numbers were. He almost had a triple-double as Watkins gets, I think, pushed with 10.9 seconds left in the half. 29-21 in favor of the Buds.
Yeah, it's coming down to the wire, Mikey. I think they're going to let this one play out and just let it go down to the half, and we'll see what happens next half. They really got to get their heads up. They really got to get their heads up.
Well, they are going to the half as we will, we are going 29-21 in favor of the Buds, the number 1 out of the West versus the number 2 out of the East, 24 diversity. Two good coaches, Drew Godwin and Latrell Alford. What do you think, and James, what do you think Coach Alford's telling his diversity squad right now?
I bet he's telling them to keep their composure, to calm it down a little bit. You see a couple nervous passes, a couple nervous shots taken. They just got to look for the open shot, calm it down a little bit, a couple more passes. You see each guy trying to get a little aggressive and take it to the house. But at the beginning of the game, they were doing really good with the ball movement and doing really good with following their shots. That is so crucial. If you look at the rebound statistics, I can guarantee you that the Buds are going to be up on that one. So the coach probably just telling them to keep the composure, a little bit of teamwork, and they got to control the tempo once again, going back to what I said earlier.
And what do you think Coach Godwin is saying to the Buds right now with them? Actually, it's actually a 10-point game, 31-21, as apparently they updated the score.
Yeah, I never like the updates on the score there because you never know exactly what happened. I guess he's telling them to keep doing what they're doing. They're obviously keeping the same 5 in. They're not really rotating in or out of there. So they're going to be a little tired players coming in at the second half, the end of the game there. But tell them to keep it up, keep the ball movement. You see only 2 guys really working the ball for their team. So as long as they can keep them hot, they're going to be good to go.
And Blake Philippi really still a force in the post, even though he doesn't get many looks. You think they should dish it into him a little bit more?
I think, yeah, once he starts making them a little bit more, you saw at the end he had a nice 2 strong takes. However, at the beginning he missed a couple 3-pointers, and he also missed a couple easy layups. But once he gets heated up, it's really hard to stop him. So if they get him up there, he'll be good to go.
Alrighty, we're just getting underway. We're going to be getting underway here in the second half. It looks like the same 5 starters for diversity. Number 5, Jerome Monroe. Number 3, Mikey Nelson. He normally wears number 6. However, he's wearing number 3 in honor of Mr. Luke White. Number 24, Kareem Boyd. Number 34, Tito Perez. And number 41, Jason Vorkey. Blake Philippi, Dave Carmen, Jake Furley, Kevin Wilson, and Keith Watkins in for the Buds. So pretty much same starting lineups for both teams.
Yeah, and like I was saying earlier, they really got to utilize their strong people. You know, when you have a 3-point shooter, you got to shoot the 3-point shot. When you have somebody who's going to drive, you got to set a pick and let them get to the hole. You don't want to put a man at the wrong position because just like my grandfather always said, you can't use a tool for the job it wasn't meant to be used for.
That's exactly correct. Usually grandfathers mean hardware, but and usually my grandfather would like the tools in the right place when after they're used. My stepfather wouldn't get along with my grandfather all that well. As it looks like Jake Furley is going to line, or maybe not.
No, the foul was on the floor. Foul was on the floor.
Okay, foul was on the floor. I thought he might have been going up, and I stand corrected. That's Dave Carmen. He showed a flare of the move there.
Yeah, that's nice. He's been really quiet tonight, and I really like to see him play, especially his three-point shot is really nice from the arc. Even though from a big guy, he can throw it up, so it's nice to see that. So I really hope he gets to start heating it up. All in all, you have a lot of talent on either side of the ball here, so it seems to be a interesting 18 minutes and 48 seconds.
So true, so true. As we got Jerome Monroe at the line after the foul. As I mentioned earlier, Dollar Comedy Night is next Wednesday, May 4th. Bring $1 out and to the Crumpus Theater, and you'll be able to enjoy some good comedy from the Curtain Call players. Also, this game brought to you by Mott Plastic Canvas. Mott Plastic Canvas, your home for all your plastic canvas gifts and needs. Log on to mottplasticcanvas.webs.com. That's mottplasticcanvas.webs.com. For complete action as Philippi airs a 3 out. Like we said, his three-point shot not going down as Jason Varkey takes it to the hoop. It is 24-33. It's a 3-2 run right now for Diversity in this early portion of the second half. Oh, and Mikey Nelson kind of making amends with Blake Philippi after a hard throw that bounced off Philippi's shoulder almost into, if there were club seats, that would be where they would be.
Yes, they would, Mikey. Yes, they would. And I like to see this gap being closed up right now. They just got to stay at it and go up strong, you know? Stay at it. I want to see a good ball game here at the latter half of the game.
Well, Jerome Monroe definitely got that one to go. It's 33-26. Is injury to Fairley. It's only small. So joining us up here is Brandon Kajawa. Brandon, how are you right now?
Sweaty and tired.
Well, you guys had a tough one just a little bit earlier, a 46-42 loss to the Staff. I mean, you guys were within one. What happened right there at the end?
Well, we were just trying to stick with them the whole game. Hopefully get a shot at it at the end. Kind of just fell apart a little bit at the end there. Everyone kind of went right. We grouped together. But it was a good game, though. It was a lot of fun. No one was really jawing that much, so it was fun.
It was definitely a great game, great one to announce for me. I almost lost my voice. That's why I called James up here to help me out a little bit. I only have so much ginger ale to keep my throat smooth. So we got 16:20 left to go with a 5-point game, 33-28. As Diversity brings it up. Out of what you see, Brandon, who do you think might have the upper hand in this one?
I don't know. It's been a real physical game. I think whatever team keeps moving their feet, Beisel had the good start. As long as they keep hustling, it looks like they're getting a little bit tired. So 24's got a little bit more subs and stuff. They can play a little bit better bench. So see, as long as Beisel uses their timeouts good and I think slows down the game a little bit, I think they'll be all right.
Well, you did. You hit a 3 last night, and you didn't even use the move. And that my move, yeah, the one you attempted, but
signature Mikey.
Yeah, the Mikey high step. It
tried.
You tried.
I tried and fell short.
Yeah, well.
Can't live up to the Mikey Edwards high stuff.
You live and you learn, right?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming up and joining us here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mikey.
So that's Brandon Kajawa from 24 Downs Showtime. So we got a good game going right now. 33-28, 15 minutes to go. Jake Foley puts it, gets the board over to Dave Carmen. Carmen actually puts the ball on the floor and loses it off of Carmen's knee. It is diversity ball. As the timeout is called, 33-28. We're actually going to take it with them. We'll be back after this here on TMR Live. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. 14:42 left to go. As we are out of the timeout. Jason Cho for three, no good. Rebound by Blake Philippi. Again tomorrow night at 9 p.m. It is the championship matchup between winner of this game and the undefeated Staff. Do you think anybody can beat Staff?
Well, from what I've seen, they do bleed, if I can say it or put it that way. We saw a close game tonight. We even saw 24 down, or Beisel down. Who's, I don't know the name of their team, but Devon's team?
Oh,
Bueller down. Yeah, I'm new here, so I don't know all the teams exactly. But they even had a close game. If it wasn't to that cutthroat call at the end of the game, then he would have, they very well could have had the win. As Kev takes it to the hole, that was very, very nice. Crossed up 2 or 3 guys on that take. Very impressive.
Oh, I might lose my job soon if you keep it up, bud. Or I might just hire you, one or the other. I won't lose my job because I'm founder of this network. Okay, Kevin Wilson. And he's called for the offensive foul.
Now, you know, Mikey, that's really encouraging to see the fouls actually get called, the charges, because you see, as our gentleman even said earlier, it's a very physical game, and we just need some of these offensive fouls called, not just the defensive ones.
Exactly right, exactly right. Again, thanks to Brandon Kajawa for joining us. Also, thanks to Coach Drew Godwin of Beisel Up for joining us on the pregame. Albeit a quick interview, it was a good interview nonetheless. Very thorough, too. As Keith Watkins takes it to the hoop, it's a 9-point game.
Yeah, that was a good defensive play, and then he took it all the way to the house. He didn't want to give another offensive foul to try to reserve some of the team fouls, so he went ahead and let him lay it up. Probably a wise choice because he probably would have got an and one.
Exactly. As the timeout is called, I believe, by diversity.
Yeah, they got to slow down. They really got to slow down this tempo and what this really physical, fast team has going on.
Yeah, both teams are very physical and aggressive, but it seems like I said, Beisel's getting the upper hand as a good portion of that team's going in for some agua. So this is definitely an intense matchup here this evening.
Yeah, it is, Mikey. It is, Mikey. And with all the emotions on the line, you really got to check them out the door. You know, once you come in, you just got to let the ball tell the truth.
Yep, got to push the rock. Push the rock and get that to go. As we got 12:28 left to go, ball's back in. Everyone's back in. It's a 3-2 zone for Beisel. Santos out to Nelson. Nelson for three, no good. As it is let go and Beisel ball. As I have fellow commentator Devon Avant in his Cincinnati Reds hat. Reds actually won today, 7-6.
And so did the Yankees, Mikey. So did the Yankees.
Yes, they did. I was proud when I saw that score. Robbie Cano had that 3-run homer, and that pretty much did it.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned Cano. That's one of my favorite players on the Yankees team, if not the best, in my opinion.
Well, you got a lot of Yankee players who are good, great players to choose from. Cheat, Mo, and I think with that low-scoring game, Mo might have had the save as Jason Cho short hops the three, gets his own board, passes to Perez, who misses, rebounded by Villagran, out to Monroe for three, and it's good.
Now, if you notice, Mikey, what Cho did is he followed his shot. He followed his shot. That's key. That's what I said they need to do in order to win this game. Follow your shots when you miss, and you're definitely going to have a good amount of second chance points.
As was seen there, 11 minutes, just under 11 minutes left to go. 8-point game still in favor of the Buds right now. As Keith Watkins with a steal, and he loses it out of bounds. I know this game is going to be a little bit more of a drawing game because between Tito Perez and Jason Cho, those two do a lot of talking, and Keith Watkins does himself as Philippi picks up a foul.
Yeah, Mikey, you're exactly right on that note. And I will also give some props to our refs this evening. It's a very hard game to call. All the movement, all the fast action, and especially the physicality of it, as we mentioned before.
Isaiah Carson and Juice Kinsey, the refs, great job to them. Within the first 30 minutes of action, we'll hopefully see some more good calls in the remainder. As we try to get it a little bit cooler here, Tito Perez at the line. It is tough to actually, there we go. There we go. Now I'm losing my papers. Tito Perez makes them 39-34. 9:25 left to go as Watkins takes it to the dish. As thankfully enough I have an extra set of hands tonight.
Yeah, Mikey, it's a pleasure broadcasting with you. I'd say I really respect what you do up here, man. So I'm just honored to be invited to your booth.
Why, thank you, sir. I'll be here tomorrow night as well. As I don't even know. I don't know whether I'll dress up or not. Depends on how hot it is in here. Jake Furley grabs it, and Cho takes the steal back. Monroe for three. A short rebound by Furley. Furley trying to get it to an open man. Gets it to Wilson. Wilson driving in. Doesn't get it to go. Philippi gets it taken by Jerome Monroe. and fouled by Watkins. I think that foul was kind of unnecessary, don't you think?
Yeah, it was maybe a little unnecessary, but I once again will say that one might be a phantom call or phantom foul on the fact that he was fouled in the exact same way by the exact same player in the first half.
Good analysis there, my good friend Jim Gaddy. All right, Kevin Wilson trying to take it in. To Dave Carmen for the three, no good, and if it didn't go out of play, that would have been sweet.
That's exactly what I'm talking about right there. If you get him heated up on the arc, he's really hard to guard.
Again, 8 minutes left to go, 41-34. As number 24, Kareem Boyd swings it to Jerome Monroe. And look over to Mikey Nelson. A block by Watkins over to Wilson, who takes it to the glass for two. And referee timeout as a little towel off. As good thing you put the fan on me because I was going to need to towel off soon anyway.
Yeah, it's really hot up here. It's a lot of humidity, and as everyone knows, heat rises, so we're a little higher up for the better view of the game, and boy, is it hot up here. But not nearly as hot as it is on the court with these two teams bashing it out.
Very good. Tito Perez misses and put up by Mikey Nelson for two.
Sometimes you get lost under the goal, as we just saw Tito did there. But luckily his player was there to bail him out and put it right back in for the two they really needed.
Jerome Monroe goes behind the back of Carmen. Taken away, Mikey Nelson stepping in, kicks it out to Monroe on the baseline. Three, and it's good. As he evades Carmen and gets it in the dish.
Yeah, Mike, that's exactly what they need. They're playing aggressive. They closed the gap from 9 at the half, I believe it was, to now only 4. Great comeback, Diversity. Great comeback. We got ourselves a ball game.
Yes, we do. 6:48 left to go. 43-39. Bowman stays in. Carmen comes out as Watkins drives in. Count it! And a foul. Foul against Tito Perez. No personals until a championship game. However, Keith Watkins still gets to the line, shooting for the old-fashioned three-point play.
Yeah, Mikey, it's really hard when you're down there if you want to foul them or not foul them, or if you foul them on accident. I say always just try and take the charge, because with a phenomenal basketball player of his caliber, he's going to make it.
Exactly, especially on that fast break like he always likes to do. Or even driving with that speed of his. Watkins makes the and one. It's a 7-point game with under 6 to go. Monroe brings it up. Guarded by Wilson, screened by Santos. Over to Nelson, who misses a three. Rebound by Villagran. Almost loses it. Nelson keeps it going, and he doesn't get it to go. Santos doesn't get the putback. Rebound by Furley. We'll be closing up shop right after this game. I'm going to give Mr. James Gaddy the honors of choosing tonight's player of the game. So you got a couple minutes to think about it there, bud. As we got this 7-point game, under 5 to go. Monroe brings it up. Foul. A foul. Monroe stepping to the line for Diversity. This is the point in time where these free throws are crucial as Monroe makes the first of the 1-and-1.
Yeah, like you said, I couldn't have said it better myself. These free throws are really crucial. It's really going to come down to that last second. And I will tell you one thing, the free throws are going to be the difference maker.
As Monroe missed the second, it's a 6-point game with 4 to go. Wilson driving in, then gets it to go. 48-40. Cho misses a 3, rebound by Santos. Over to Monroe, who drives in and doesn't get it to go. Rebound and put back by Alfonso Santos. Wilson inbounds it to Philip Pye, hand it back off to Wilson. Thank you for tuning into TMR Live. Glad you can be with us in this barn burner of a match. Timeout called by Beisel, up 48-42. Like I said, thank you for tuning into this barn burner of a match, either right now, later on here on Ustream, or on the Mikey Report YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/user/MEdwardsShow. Also, check out our sponsor for this week's action, mottplasticcanvas.webs.com, for all your plastic canvas gifts and needs, all personalized just for you. Visit them on the web at mottplasticcanvas.webs.com. Mott is spelled M-O-T-T, plastic canvas.
Well put, Mikey.
Have you made a decision on who you think the player of the game is tonight, sir?
Yeah, I think I have a good candidate in mind. It's definitely going to come down to the wire of who wins the game. It can still go either way. But I have a nice player. He's been very unselfish and very diligent. Very diligent, if I could put it into those words.
Alrighty. I believe Watkins took the charge, and his body, I think, is a little hurt right now as we have the look. Coach Godwin comes out to check on his player. We're gonna need a towel there. That is a lot of sweat built up right there. Someone give him a towel there. We got a time for timeout, 3:02 left to go.
Yeah, this is maybe the third time he's been on the ground hard tonight. We're kind of wondering maybe he should sit a couple seconds out to regroup himself.
Coach Godwin will keep him in, though, because he is one of their harder players. As we want to remind you to stop by Jasmine's before the end of during finals week, as if you need a Volta Java or just some caffeinated beverage, go over to Jasmine's to pick one up today. Well, actually not today because Jasmine's closes at 9, but you can pick it up tomorrow morning up until about 9 o'clock. .229 left as the clock is stopped for a cleanup on aisle baseline.
Yeah, Michael, you barely got yourself out of that one. But yeah, one player is wanting the clock to roll. They really know that they're in trouble if they let Diversity play it out. Tough call that was called. You had two different calls by two different refs there. One called 3-second violation. The other called a foul. I say good call either way.
We got the 2 minutes left to go. Watkins at the line, missed the first. Oh, he did make the first. It didn't show up on scoreboard. It's a 1-and-1 right now. And he makes the second. It's an 8-point game, 50-42. Buck 35 left to go in tonight's action, and it's good by Mikey Nelson. 50-44. Jerome Monroe in the open look, 46-50. It's 1 minute to go. 50-46. It's getting a little feisty between Monroe as Monroe shoots a 3, no good. Bill ran over to Carmen. Philippi doesn't catch up with the ball as he gets it to Wilson, who weaves his way through, doesn't get it to go. Villagrán with the rebound. Monroe steps in and gets it to go. This is getting even close. 43.7 seconds, 48-50. 42.97. Was that a foul or a timeout? I'm not sure. I think we're going to give you tonight's player of the game right now. So, James. As he refreshes on the name. It's this one, bottom. He refreshes on the names. Actually, I guess a technical call by Beisel against Beisel. It's tied up at 50 right now. But we have the player of the game, James. Who is it?
Well, before I announce the player of the game, I want to just revisit what just happened. There was a bit of discrepancy on the scoreboard. Of course, Diversity saying they should have more points, and the Bud saying they shouldn't. So the score was changed from 48-50, so it was tied at 50-50. And then after further talk, it was taken away, those 2 points previously given. So now the score is 48 Diversity to 50 the Buds. And Mikey, I'm going to have to go ahead and go with Kevin Wilson coming off of the injury to get the MVP this evening. Seen a lot of hustle in him, a lot of selfless plays, as well as a lot of good penetration to the hole.
Very wise choice. I had him, I think, second. I said Keith Watkins. I mean, he's been one of the powerhouses too. With Blake Philippi, I'd say, coming in third on Buds. If you had to choose one from Diversity, who would you say? I would have to say number 5, Jerome Monroe, myself.
Yeah, that's who I would go with as well. He was going to be my second choice. Yeah, that's exactly what I'd have to say.
As we're back underway, as the Buds float it back in, Jason Cho guarding Wilson heavily. Wilson loses it from a behind the back pick. Pass off to Villagrán, who actually gets it in, and it is tied up. Oh my goodness, tied up. Watkins gets around as he is fouled going to line. I don't know. That might have been a questionable call.
Yeah, Mikey, that was definitely a questionable call. I do know that they have a couple key players that can score at will, but the way that they've had them off balance, a little off off the mark these last couple seconds, I definitely would not have fouled him. I would have let it play out. They're playing some really tight defense, and hopefully it goes into overtime. You know he is going to make these free throws. And like we said, it's going to come down to those couple of points, which is the difference maker of the free throws.
Exactly, 18.5 seconds left, tied up at 50.
What's it going to be here? What's it going to be? This is going to make it or break it. This is where the men are made.
Doesn't get it to go. Rebounded by Jerome Monroe. Fought off, and I believe that is going to diversity.
Yeah, that's going to diversity, and that's a really good call. He was fouled, but instead he chased the ball out of bounds. And like I said before, Mikey, the ball does not lie. So we're going to have a timeout called right here.
As we will take the timeout with them, tied up at 50, knotted up with about 18 seconds left to go. We'll take it with them. We'll be back after this here on TMR Live. Don't miss it. As we are back here, and it is final in Pittsburgh for the hockey game. Tampa Bay Lightning beat the Penguins 1-0 to move on to in the Eastern Conference playoffs of the Stanley Cup playoffs of the NHL. 5 seconds. It looks like diversity trying for a last shot. Doesn't get it to go. As Wilson, oh wow, we are going to overtime. And I believe this is the first one of the rare overtime matches here in the Intramural Basketball League. I think one of the only ones, actually.
Yeah, Mikey, it's been the only overtime game I've heard of. I really want to question that last play there. He is number 5, really, really good player. But in this case, you want to go to someone a little bit opposite of the ball so he's not guarded as heavily. Maybe someone under the hoop, move the ball around a little bit more. They had 9 whole seconds. That's like a lifetime on the court.
Yes, they did. And I believe we are I forget what the ruling is on overtime. I think it's either a 2-minute or a 5-minute overtime. I don't remember exactly. But like I said, we are going to overtime. Overtime here in the pit. It's a 2-minute overtime. 50-50. As intramural head trainer Bob Spade is there checking on everything. Apparently Latrell Alford not happy with the choice. Coach Godwin just being very calm, cool, and collected right now. Nerves have to be running high for both teams right now.
Oh, yeah, it's all on the line right here, Mikey. It's your classic win or go home. So it's pretty much play hard or go home. You have 2 different teams calling for 2 different things right here, jump ball, and one just wants the ball, of course. So we're going to see what happens. 2 minutes, this is where the difference maker is going to be made. I would take a gander to say the winner of this game would probably win the championship with the type of momentum that they're going to have moving into the game tomorrow.
Bold statement with the staff that they play. I mean, Ronche Vargas was unavailable, and he can show some flares of excellence as Kevin Wilson gets it in the hoop. for the first points of overtime. The tandem of Watkins and Wilson have been on the mark this evening. Nelson going for three, and he hits it! Nelson hits the three, and it's a 1-point lead. I think the first lead for Diversity since early in the first half.
Yeah, Mikey, you're definitely right about that. And that was such a clutch shot for him in the corner. He missed a couple of them earlier, but what a better time to hit it now.
Exactly, as Wilson answers with a two, putting it back to a 1-point lead for the Buds, as Monroe has it on our near side. It's deflected out, going to the Buds. Or it's staying. It's staying. He pointed in the Buds' direction. That's why it was a little confusing. Mikey Nelson looking to put some more points on the board. No good. Rebound by Santos, stolen away by Watkins, as Watkins trying to get around the defense as it is popped up in the air. The basketball is not popcorn, people. Even though it looks like you want it, as it looks like Diversity is trying to hold for one, down by one. Monroe trying to drive in, kicks it out to Joe for three, no good. Rebound by Villagran, who puts it up, and it's good! Oh my! Watkins. I think there was a whistle blown before the buzzer sounded. I don't know what it was. Three seconds on the clock, as I think a foul was committed, or less than that. There we go, 2.1. Keith Watkins going to the line. How much pressure is this?
Well, it's a lot of pressure, Mikey. It really is. I'm just a little unclear on the particulars of the call. I don't know where it was, on who, and especially we had a call or an uncalled foul in the back court here where Blake checked Dorian. We're going to see what's happened. I think it's 1-1 on the fouls, so it pretty much comes down to this.
It does. Watkins needs to make this. Watkins needs to make this and the next, as the crowd is wild here. Watkins misses! And Villagran grabs it. As this game, I believe, it is not over. There's a timeout called.
There was a timeout call with 0.3 seconds left, Mikey. What are they going to do with the remainder time? I have no idea. It seems like giving a foul would be a little much, but what are you going to do in a predicament like this? You're down 1 point with 0.3 seconds left. That's 0.3 of a second, folks. What's going to happen?
I thought Diversity had the ball. Beisel picked it up?
Yeah, Diversity does have the ball, and then they called a timeout.
Okay, so it's 55-54. I guess it seems like Diversity is going to get this with 2 seconds left. Two ticks of the clock.
Yeah, it goes back to what I said at the very beginning, Mikey. The ball doesn't lie.
This I think might actually do it. We'll see what happens on this inbound. Monroe to inbound. I believe. And it is over. This game is final. 55-54. Diversity moves on to face staff. It is a matchup that most would probably be waiting for. So we will have that for you at 9 o'clock tomorrow night for James Gaddy and all the crew that joined me. I'm Mikey Ellis saying good night, God bless, and see you next time here on The Mikey Report.